you were talking about, how to set up those meetup presentations. If you have access to a large screen TV or a projector, it helps. But don't feel like you have to inundate people. Like John likes to always say, death by PowerPoint. We don't want to do that because then it takes away from some of the authenticity and the information that you want to deliver is really things that you can relate to personally. It doesn't have to all be on a screen. You can use that for support and backup. I like to give presentations that have visual aids, but I like to, speak the words that are not on the screen, because it allows me to connect with the audience better. And I am not an experienced public speaker. I'm actually learning a lot just by doing this. It's allowing me to feel a lot more confident about the information that I know and that I can convey to others. So it's worth the effort, but it's a lot of work and you have to be prepared to do it. And, like Mr. G, you said, a lot of us have families, we have fiat jobs, we have lots going on. So none of us can do it full time, but we do it because we feel compelled to, because we really know that it's doing some good. And look what it's done. It's brought people together and we're here today as evidence of that.
And I think what I really like is I mean what you've described about Harlem. I've been to New York a few times, and I've really enjoyed it. And what you described about Harlem, the meetups, and they relate to the people. That's what it sounds like. So as much as I'm moving to a new location, I'm more familiar with Dar es Salaam, but I feel like there's also an opportunity for me to learn a lot about the community there. And then, you mentioned about, you do fundraisers that help the community, like a food bank or whatnot. And there are obviously a lot of needs in Tanzania and whatnot, orphanages and schools and other things that are available, that are happening here. So yeah, I'm very engaged with that. And I love how you're using Bitcoin as a tool to aid those community needs. That's what it sounds like, and it sounds bigger than just teaching people about Bitcoin. It's just like, okay, we actually invested in this community and we want people to experience and be a part of it. So that's really inspiring. I like what you're saying, and I think it was a little overwhelming before talking with you guys, but you guys have kind of just made it sound like, there's all hands on deck, and really interesting. So no, I've learned a lot, and I'm yeah, excited to hear. So in regards to again, you mentioned, picking the topics. You guys you seem to have some specialists in different things. Mr. G, when you got there, were you able to, feel you could ask the questions and engaging with other people, participants as well, about their experiences, or were you already a Bitcoiner before you got to the meetup? I'm just curious about your kind of meetup journey, when you kind of experienced it, that first meetup.
Yeah. So I was already a Bitcoiner by choice. I was already a Bitcoiner before I discovered Harlem Bitcoin. But like Dan was saying, there's too many of these crypto, blockchain, NFT groups all over the city. And for a city large as New York, it's really something to see that there are really not that many groups, or maybe just at best one or two groups that actually are Bitcoin only and are focused on teaching people education, pointing people to like jobs in the space, and just giving people a community to ask questions. So my first experience was really great. I remember at the time this one meetup, we were in a rest at Safari, and the presentations were actually good. Dan, I mean, yeah, we're definitely not killing people with PowerPoint, but I just say like the way Dan and Jesse and some of our good friends convey the message, right, to semi-technical people like myself. So I wouldn't consider myself a full layman, like someone just that doesn't understand a lot of the computer concept. I'll consider myself somewhat of an amateur and an enthusiast. And so a lot of the concepts are not new to me, and just Dan just makes them super clearer. So it just helps to have someone that's a good speaker and everything like that. And it might be a talent of yours, Dan, because to be honest with you, being able to talk and convey the concepts in Bitcoin is not an easy task. So that's actually a talent that, some of us can fine tune a little better. by talking to each other and not just holding up and isolating and that sort of thing. Um, the meetups are great. You can ask questions. There's no bad questions. I mean, there are no bad questions because we're all learning, and you're gonna get some really poignant questions, even with some experience that you might have in Bitcoin. You're always gonna you you another something to think about. Maybe I might have said that the best way, but being around Bitcoin is always leads you to um, think about the protocol and just different things that you may not be um, being together. It just helps that much. Saying these points to new people is it helps to have a space, and you're blessed with that space and interactive live demonstrations where people can maybe do a transaction with each other. People can see how the network works and how transactions are processed, maybe on the screen and everything like that. Would definitely help, along with having just community events and ways of gathering people around, maybe a giveaway. Like I said, I'm willing to help out and pour into your organization however it can help. If you guys are doing a tally coin fundraiser, and hopefully if your facility is equipped, maybe you can run a miner under your premises and have a way to demonstrate how mining works. So the sky's really the limit there for where you can take this organization, and I'm willing to help because you're on the right path, and that's really what it's about. And yeah, so that's just my experience right there. It's really it's not as hard or daunting as you may think it is. It just takes being with some good like-minded people that are willing to help. And then for the little bit of time that we do have, we managed to do a lot. And of everybody in Harlem Bitcoin, and it gives us a sense of pride that we all can work with each other, and we are actually making a few changes bit by bit. So, yeah.
And so just again in regards to the materials you do and so I'm talking about like just how does it operate? What's the operating costs? I mean, I appreciate you have he's mentioned someone's offered the space, choosing the flyers and the stuff. Is that just a case where you guys have just decided to come together and say, hey, I'll contribute this and I'll do this, just using your own resources? Or is it the case where you're talking about you have like for instance, what I know, I'm hearing Tally for the first time, but what I'm familiar with is Geyser Fund. People using that to kind of generate kind of have a profile page and being able to donate sats to that and stuff like that. So just curious as well, like operating costs. How do you guys monitor that? Is it as a team or is it just from donations? And is it from you putting information out on your social media, kind of running those things as well? Just curious about that as well, that aspect of it not being a cost to you too much as you enjoy doing it. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
how do you kind of balance those things?
we've all kicked in, our own capital to get things off the ground. We keep the budget very lean because none of us have a lot that we can contribute to this. But to host a website, there's some fees there. We don't generally ever pay for spaces because that's where the cost can really go up quite a bit. So we try to find either community rooms or, in the case of having Shakib owning a restaurant, it helps us to have a space that we can already use that's established. So if you have a community center or a place that is already basically free to use, that helps a lot. And then yeah, the cost of setting up flyers or creating a meetup group, those are not substantial fees. And if we wanted to accept donations, we have to set up a nonprofit organization, which is something that we've actually been planning, and we're in the early stages of establishing that, so we can actually solicit actual donations. But even before then, when we just had a very loosely undefined organization, we set up a Bitcoin wallet. We allowed people to donate. We've kept track of the donations so that we can still when we need to consolidate that and hopefully, have a larger organization that we can actually use to manage funds to be able to maintain it properly, keep the records, just make sure you're doing things legally in your area so that you don't run afoul of existing laws. And we're not, like I said, we're really not selling anything. It's really about education, and we're contributing our knowledge and our resources to the best of our abilities, each of us.
And yeah, thank you for that, and I appreciate Mr. G offering your services to help us as well here. And my question kind of would be like how do you keep it fresh? How do you the way you plan, the frequency. Let's talk about the frequency of meetups. And is it over once a month? How do you decide what you do? Is it the same thing for 2 months and then you move on to a new topic? Have you got to that kind of depth? Just curious as well how you maybe plan
Um, I
plan
want to
your
say,
meetups topics.
Dan, I want to say, yeah, we do have monthly meetups, and it would just take a little bit of organization for us to get together on a date and a location. So yeah, keeping it to once or monthly meetups helps to keep the core of your organization tight. I would say um, that much. Yeah, I just wanted to share that part.
Yeah, I would say once a month is a good cadence. I'd love to do it more than that, but it just isn't feasible for most of us to work around our schedules. So we don't always get them every month, but we do try to do something at least virtual once a month if it's not in person. A couple months back, we did our first event outside of Harlem. We actually went to Lower Manhattan, down on Canal Street, and we were there in Lebanese Hoddle's studio. Ahmed runs a photography studio, beautiful space, and we had a meetup where we invited Evan Kalutis from Zeus Wallet to present, and we had a lot of people who probably wouldn't have shown up otherwise. Because we were able to publicize a little bit differently and also do the event in another part of town. Yeah, people kind of
Yeah.
think that Harlem is further away than it is. It's actually 15 minutes away from Times Square on the train. Anyone can get here, but it's an unfamiliar part of town for a lot of people, especially if they're new to New York. So even people who've been here a long time have never been to Harlem, which is quite a shame. But it's a
Which
beautiful
is
area.
crazy.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
area. It's full of parks and restaurants and bars and wonderful people. And it's important that we connect with the community. If John were here on stage right now, that would be the thing he would talk about the most. Is he doesn't want to appeal to, you know, the established crypto bros. He doesn't want people showing up and it being all people who are already well versed in these concepts and technologies. He wants to reach what he calls the plebs, and in his case, the plebs are people who know very little about Bitcoin and who need it the most. And that education is really important. So reaching people at the point in their life where Bitcoin is maybe brand new to them, but could be a concept that helps expand their view of the world is, that's his mission, and we support that. And we often go back and forth on whether or not we should even do the meetups that we're doing. But I feel like it's important, even if we get a lot of regulars coming back. If everyone can bring one more person every time, then we have a growing community, and it's about getting the message out to the right people. So it's a slow process. We've been up and running for over a year. Our meetups are growing, but we're still not at that critical mass stage. And I'd love to see it become something bigger than it is. And I would love to actually have more people running it with us. I don't want to be the person who's in charge of events and planning. I'd love to have more people step up and volunteer like you did, Mr. G, when you joined. And now
You
you've
know
become
what,
an instrumental
D?
part of this community.
We need women. I'm sorry, man. We need women.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been telling us, and it's the
Yeah.
hardest thing for some reason. But you know what? When we did our Bitcoin Pizza Day event a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
when Jesse and Faraz were out handing out pizza and talking to people on the street, we met some really incredible people, and there was a one lady who showed up who was very knowledgeable about Bitcoin, and I wish we had gotten her name and contact info because she's just phenomenal, and I'd love to have her be part of the community. But absolutely, we need to expand our appeal and obviously
I
show
think
that
we can.
we're not just a bunch of dudes who talk about crypto all day.
I think we can. I've shared. Let me just jump in really quickly. I think we
Hmm.
can. It's just with enough time, we'll have we can have enough visibility in the space that we will attract people as time goes on, and it all sexes, everyone is welcome. We never put up a barrier saying that it's is only a sort of this is a boys club, or like this is only for the geeks or anything like that. Like this is what Bitcoin kind of like. Sometimes it hinders a lot of people because they feel like this is like an elitist concept where people pre-existing conditions are just like notions are just smashed and that sort of thing, and people have to confront a lot of their beliefs. And we actually have always operated with an open door for everyone to come. I've brought friends myself, and just to wrap it up, I think, man, like quick, I think you can even do even more higher frequency meetups if you want, because you don't necessarily have to even go after just doing meetups once a month or anything like that. You can, it seems how you have a space, you could probably go for every once a week. Who knows? Um,
I
yeah.
like to say every one-on-one conversation you have with a new person who has never experienced Bitcoin is a meetup, because that is the starting point. Those one-on-one conversations where someone can just get the concepts, understand it, show them a wallet, show them how it works, introduce them to Lightning, then just spark the interest, and then they will inevitably find other people on their own. And so, yeah, a meetup can just be a couple of people. One time we did a meetup and four people showed up. It was the first month of the bear market last year. It was like November, and like no one showed up. Like no one gave a shit about Bitcoin or anything else, and they just it was like one of the most depressing meetups, except the fact that we had a wonderful time. We just had, went through
Hey,
our
Dan.
presentations,
Hey,
and it was so much fun. And then we went out for
I'm
beers
just gonna.
afterwards.
We're probably gonna end up getting a bunch of new people, like the exact opposite when the bull market comes back. We may be even getting people like that want to say, "Oh, well, Bitcoin is X, Y, and Z." Just get ready for everything, bro.
Oh, were
Another
you
thing.
there? Were you in Clubhouse in 2021?
I avoided Clubhouse. Like,
Yeah, I remember these 1,000, 2,000 person rooms. Everyone just showed up and listening to people talk about Bitcoin for 10 hours at a time. And like that's just the inevitable fact in these cycles when the media attention, and people are talking about it, you're going to be flooded with stuff, and it's going to overwhelm you. So yeah, that's why we're building now. I always like to say, bear markets are for building community. And if you can get the right people in the right places at the right time early enough where they can begin to internalize those concepts, then by the time the bull run comes and everyone's out of their minds, just losing their shit, it's at least you've established a group of people who can be level headed and not get carried away and get a little over their heads in all this stuff, because it will happen, and it happens. It's just human psychology. We are all susceptible to it. We've all been there, and most of us have found ourselves like saying kind of ridiculous things that other people look at us and are like, "Are you serious? You actually believe that?" But if you can go through that and become stronger and be unscathed by it, then the next time it's easier.
Oh man, that's awesome, guys, and I really appreciate just hearing your stories, and I look forward to a year from now, just sharing kind of those kind of stories from the meetups that we're gonna do. So yeah, I'm just getting a good idea of frequency and location, online presence, kind of mediating probably a group on a Telegram, a Discord, or whatever. We quite popular on WhatsApp over here. So I was going to ask, probably just to kind of wrap up, but just what kind of impact has Nostr had on your groups or on Bitcoin, on your meetups? Has that kind of been introduced yet? Just curious, because I mean,
Absolutely,
I've loved
yeah.
it since
we,
it's
we
come out.
started the Harlem Bitcoin Nostr account early in the year, and at the time we were just kind of cross posting stuff that was on Twitter, because we were still just figuring out how Nostr worked, and didn't quite understand the differences in the audience at the time. But over time, like, we've become much more focused on Nostr because it's a stronger Bitcoin community, and the Twitter community has kind of faded into the background for most of us. You'll see probably quite fewer tweets from the Harlem Bitcoin account recently. I don't post at all on Twitter anymore personally. I just mainly keep myself to Nostr because that's where my people are. And it has helped us in many ways. When we did our fundraiser for the 2023 Pizza Day, our fundraising goal was 1 million sats, and someone zapped us 1 million sats directly to the Harlem Bitcoin Lightning wallet and anonymously, so we don't even know who it was. That all happened instantly through Nostr, and so the audience is still growing. It's a small account, doesn't have a ton of followers, but I hope everyone here is following it and engages with it. We all take turns posting. None of us are running it full time, so you might see posts from me, from Mr. G, from Jesse, occasionally from John on the account. But again, we're looking for more people to step up and be part of this because Bitcoin grows when we all share it with other people. And Harlem Bitcoin is a an evolving organization that none of us want to own. We just want to be part of. And at some point, I hope to be able to let someone else run with it. And we just show up at the meetups and remember what it was like in the early days.
Awesome, man. I've really learned a lot. I've got a pad full of notes here, guys, and I'm conscious of you guys' times and stuff. I really appreciate you guys just sharing your afternoon with me, and yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm really excited that we got to connect like this, and we can connect like this. I'm part of the Telegram group now, so I can hear all the noise you guys, not noise, signal that you guys
The
talk
signal, yes. I am
about.
Quakes. I am so excited that you're part of this, that you're doing this. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get my ass over to Tanzania and
Oh,
meet you in
Karibu.
person and see this stuff happening
Yeah.
because a little bit about my backstory. I when I started out in Bitcoin, I was thinking early on how to use it to send money around the world to people who don't have any concept of Bitcoin and are unbanked. We were working with homeless people. We were working with people in West Africa. I had a young man named Chero who lived in Sierra Leone who was so excited about Bitcoin and helped him get his first wallet set up. And I knew someone who was on his way over to um, I want to say it was Ghana. I wish I had a better memory, but was able to get him some books and an Android tablet loaded with software so he could actually begin educating other people. And he started his own educational group there in Sierra Leone. And this all happened during like the Ebola crisis. And that's how I actually met the guy. There was an organization called Bitcoin Against Ebola that was raising funds. And so we used ChangeTip to raise money to help people with medical supplies during that crisis. And it forged a lasting friendship. I still chat with the guy, and he's off doing some other things in his life right now, and he's not as focused on Bitcoin. But again, like these were the early days, and there's so many opportunities out there for people to get started now and begin bringing that knowledge. And the fact that we've got Lightning Network up and running in Africa, building nodes, helping people get connected, being able to build that real circular economy in the part of the world that needs it the most is exciting to me, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how this develops over the years, and just to be able to play a part in it is extremely rewarding.
Awesome, man, and yeah, I'm trying to share a bit about
Hey,
Tanzania
will
and
we
yeah,
be taking any questions? I'm so sorry, man. Are we going to be taking
yeah,
any
sure,
questions
yeah.
from
I'd
anyone
love
in
to
the
hear
crowd?
from the
Maybe
audience. Anybody wants to
I seen someone that had
chime
their
in? Yeah,
hand
that'd be
raised, but
great.
people are just like in and out over here. But go on, manly quick. Go on, quick.
All right, yeah, I was just gonna share, like, I'm sure you guys have heard of, mobile money, and we're very familiar with sharing, using our phones to connect and having a wallet on our phone. So it's via the telecoms. So I guess you guys have AT&T and T-Mobile and stuff. So whatever we have over here, Vodacom and Tigo, Pest Tigo, you know, imagine them having a wallet on, using that your SIM card, being able to access a wallet. So for instance, I live in Dar es Salaam, and I have other parts of the city or even the country. I can send my local currency to them, to their phone, and then they can go to a local, like, they call it like a money agent, which is kind of like a Western Union, but it's like a little money agent, and they can just withdraw it as cash if they want, or they can use it to pay bills And so basically, whatever the Lightning Network is, it's so relative to what we use here already. There's QR codes at merchant shops already, so I can just use my phone, I scan it, I would pay them my local currency to them, and it just gets scanned over that side. So we're very familiar with that and exchanging the money. Reason it came big for me was remittances in regards to money out of the country. So like I said, I have family in the UK, so sending money out of the country was a big issue, and obviously using crypto was a vessel for me. I've tried different ones, and then obviously settled on Bitcoin. So that was a big thing. So like you mentioned about this having that, being able to bank yourself and having that opportunity to have real an asset and grow your wealth that way, and have peer-to-peer kind of exchanges. It's a real game changer, and I truly believe it's something that we here in Tanzania will definitely appreciate and benefit from. I know, like I said, like I mentioned, it's important to be sensitive of what's going on here. They're looking to do CBDCs and stuff like that. So again, having a real place to kind of give that knowledge and even connect with the government about what Bitcoin is. I would love to be in that position. Whatever Max is doing in El Salvador, man, I want to be that guy here, pretty much, in Tanzania.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're
you can
doing that.
start with the boots on the ground.
Yeah,
I
yep,
can
yep.
say.
100%,
Wait,
100%,
well,
100%. I mean,
I wanted to share my experience. I hope my cousin's in here because I don't know if he verified his identity or did his account. But cousin, if you hear me, well, I'm just explaining to everyone how easy it is and how frictionless it is to exchange Lightning for local currency. It's been a thing now for like a few years, and it's just okay. My cousin says he can hear me. Okay, so just the fact that it's already been penetrated. The mobile to mobile money transfer houses, they pop up like popcorn. You can convert Bitcoin for 0% sometimes in some of these places because that's how much liquidity it is in some of these markets. And that's the beautiful potential of Western Africa and a lot of these places where mobile money apps are being used. It's already penetrated the East so much. Like people, it's amazing. So I mean, I'm blessed to. I send money home all the time. I've never been in a Western Union for so long now, and it's like it's amazing just to have that experience. Um, it's
I
a
have a
blessing.
question for Quicks. Are you familiar with Bitcoin Akasi down in South Africa?
I actually have a call with them. I think end of the month. Yeah, I'm familiar with them, and again, like I'm talking to everybody right now. so
I'm
so
so
yeah,
inspired by what they're doing, and unfortunately, Paxful had to pull the plug, but they're still building their community and what they're doing with the surfer kids and the videos that I've seen shared, where you've got these young kids that are out teaching surfing lessons and earning Bitcoin, and then able to spend it using Lightning, using Wallet of Satoshi in local stores for food, for candy, for other stuff that they want to buy, just using it as a normal everyday currency is so exciting to see because it's evidence that the youth are the ones who are going to drive this change. When we, hyper Bitcoinization might not happen to us, but it's certainly going to happen to them, and they're the ones who are going to be driving it. So, getting those young people to understand and help them avoid a life of debt, slavery, and inflation is the thing that we all are focusing on because we don't want to see that happen to another generation. It may be too late for some of us, but for them, they're the ones who will inherit the world that we want to build. Plant the seeds now, and the tree will grow, and we'll be able to have a world that is fairer, better economically for everyone when we can actually allow them to take the mantle and run with it.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I'm going to be speaking with them end of the month, and Andrew from Galoy. Blink, they've been great as well, really supportive. Yeah, I mean, I just really appreciate the community. I love that Derek's here too, man. Derek's such a G, got me on my Nostr plebs, and it's just been such a great, like, everybody feels so approachable and just wants to share the knowledge, and that's what's really exciting for me. So yeah, I'm excited to do it, and yeah, happy to hear from others, man. We can just open the floor up. It'd be great to just hear from others and their experiences, and I'd love to learn more. So yeah.
If you ever have a chance to meet Alakani and Terling, she's a wonderful lady. She goes by the name of the Bitcoin Lady. She's been running she's running a Bitcoin group in Botswana for like 10 years. It's called the Satoshi Center, and it probably has a lot of information that she can help you absorb about how to run educational events, meetups. They were teaching people how to create Lightning wallets and how to build hardware wallets on their own and self custody quite a few years ago. And it's definitely use the knowledge that's out there already and stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before us, because we're
Hey,
all just building this because other people are helping.
hey, Dan, I wanted to say, I was gonna say you got a lot of slides and presentations where the Botswana Bitcoin meetups. We have a lot of actually documentation that we can just share with you, Manly Quick, and you can follow through, and maybe you can create your off of what we've already been doing.
That'll be
And
awesome.
I mean, yeah, definitely, that's what it's about.
Yeah, I will
Um,
share everything we have with you. We've got a bunch of presentations and slides. You can have everything and take it and run with it. Make your own presentation. Use this information because it's all public domain. None of us own any of it. This is for the world. We're building this for other people to learn from, and you can create your own presentations and use what we've started as a basis.
Awesome. Thank you. Someone's got a hand up. Is it
yeah,
Roger?
Roger, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Go on, Roger. You can press the mute microphone button in the center of your dashboard there.
Okay, I've done that.
Hey, it's my cousin. So, all right, everybody, meet my cousin,
Wait,
Quick
wait, is
Cool.
that Roger
This
Veer?
is not
No,
Roger.
it's not Roger Veer.
I
It's my cousin, Quick Cool.
think it's,
What's up, cousin?
it's
Welcome, welcome.
Master G.
That's me, Mr. G. How you
Yeah,
doing?
he was talking about. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. He was talking about he sending funds over, teaching me how to use the BTC very well, and helping me. We are currently doing some projects with BTC, but it's very great. I used not to know anything about it, but through his counseling and his help, I'm learning great, and it's a very great experience to be. I every time want to have more of such community to join to listen to what others are using the BTC, and I would be very happy if we could spread it louder so that it will be used by many people. Thanks.
Now, thank you, Cuzzo. Wow, you made it up to Nostr Nest. You've jumped past Twitter Spaces and leaped into Nostr Nest. Welcome to freedom.
Any phase I am there, my brother.
No problem. No problem.
Dude, I'm gonna get my cousin on this next time to hype me up like that too, bro.
That's great. That's great. That's great. At least to help people to also know that there's good work being done by you folks. You are doing very great work.
Roger, where are you based?
I'm not Roger. I think it's a computer name that gave
Oh,
me. I am
my bad.
Macy's Ventures or Kweku. I'm based in Ghana.
You're in Ghana.
Yes, Accra
Beautiful,
to be precise.
beautiful. I love Ghanaians. They're my people.
Oh, nice,
So,
nice, nice.
so
Yeah.
next, hey, this is Derek. So, coming in 2024, there's going to be a Nostr conference that is going to be in Morocco. So it'll be right in your neck of the woods over there. They're working right now on finding a venue. They are working with the Moroccan government to get all this taken care of, and they're in the early planning stages right now.
Derek Ross, breaking news here in Nostradamus.
That's so
Is
dope.
it is it going to be called Nostraco? Please tell me that's what they're calling it.
Yes, it's called Nostraco.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm going to be at this event, no matter what happens. I'm going
That's
to make my
so
way there.
dope.
Yeah,
Casablanca.
there's a um, woman that we met down in Miami. That she's from Morocco and lives now in Miami, but she wants to have a Nostr conference there. She was talking about the Bitcoin conference in Ghana last year, and she wants to bring Nostr to Africa to help with freedom and decentralized and censorship resistant communication. Like, so yeah, it was pretty cool. Like there's just it's all a grassroots thing. There's just a whole bunch of Nostrich users that were like, hey, this sounds cool, I want to help get in on it, and it just got off the ground running like a couple weeks ago. But I'll have to keep everybody posted here as more information becomes available.
I can't wait to buy the shirt from the Lightning store.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, Derek. That was out of sight, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome,
it's
brother.
nice meeting you again, man. It's nice meeting
Absolutely,
you
dude.
offline.
It was so great seeing you down in Miami. Yeah,
For
it was
sure.
awesome.
Let's do great things,
See
man.
this
Let's do
guy
great
walking by,
things.
and he's wearing a Harlem Bitcoin shirt, and I'm giving him a little side eye. I'm like, wait a second, I might know this guy. I don't know. And he's like, hey, you Derek? Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Nah, we're all doing great things, man. It's just like, just being here, it just gives me a perspective on how small our community is right now, because we're all still within grasp of each other, and just how things are going to develop maybe a few years from now and everything like that. Hopefully we can all still be within grasp of each other, and the world doesn't get too big for us to, that sort of thing. That's kind of where I see things, because we're all doing great things here, man.
I'm
Especially
hoping
you,
that Bitcoin makes the
Dan.
world a little bit smaller and easier to access, so we can travel and we can go and visit each other and see more people from our community, more friends, and make more acquaintances and everything like that. Like, that's my hope. Like, I want to be able to travel to all these places all over the world. I'd love to hop in a car and drive to New York City. It's only 5 hours away, and go visit Harlem Bitcoin. Like, my wife and I used to drive through the city probably twice a year on our way to Long Island, where my wife's family's from, but they no longer live out there. They moved. She still has a brother that lives out there. So the next time we go and visit him, maybe I'll have to look you guys up, and we'll make a pit stop and come visit.
Listen, if you tell us when you're coming, we will work around your date to make a meetup happen. We've done
Yeah,
that before. We actually
like
had a lady from Australia come, and we made sure to book the meetup on a date when we knew she could be there, because we wanted to
like it.
be
I don't
able
know
to
when the next
facilitate.
time is. We're gonna go out to East Hampton, but like I said, because her parents moved like 4 or 5 years ago, so we don't go out there anymore. But we do need to get out there and see her brother. We haven't seen him in a number of years, and see our niece and nephew. So whenever that is, who knows? It probably won't be this summer, but maybe next year. I will let you guys know in advance when we get it planned, and yeah, that would be awesome.
Well, if all else fails, I'm hoping I can get down to Nashville in November. So if you have any plans to
Nashville,
be there,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, you know what? We're Seth and I are planning to carpool down there. So we'll see you there. Absolutely, it'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, Seth, you want to jump up, ask any questions, just hang out? We can keep this open for a little longer.
Sure,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys doing this. I mean, I've been I kind of bought a domain and had some ideas of kind of building some meetups. Derek's fairly close, and I kind of met him by coincidence. And then, it was right around the time kind of Nostr was, or I started getting engaged with Nostr. So we've had a couple meetups, usually have 5 or 6 people. But it'd be nice to kind of expand that and get more people involved. So just what you're teaching there is helpful, kind of, in getting some insights into how to get more people engaged and involved. So be yeah. So maybe I'd be interested in some of those slides, if you're sharing those. Be
Yeah, what I
interested.
can do is I can, if you guys are in the Telegram group, I can actually just post the links there, and you guys can just download everything. We've got everything in a Google Drive, and it's available publicly. We can just all I have to do is turn the switch on, and everything's shareable.
That's awesome. Is it the Harlem Bitcoin Telegram group?
Yeah, I'll make sure if you're not in there, just request membership, and I will make sure to share all that stuff with you.
Yeah, I'll check it out now.
Man, that's what it's about, man. This is actually a really good meetup because you got everybody coming in and we're just spreading this open source educational information to anyone that needs it, free of charge, no questions asked. You want it, here it is, it's yours. I just like meeting you with you guys here on stage. I'm pumped up. I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything. I'm not sure if anyone has anything else to say. But everyone's welcome to join Harlem Telegram. There's no locks on the door. Come on in, say hi, share some articles, whatever you got to share. Any good stuff, questions you may have about Bitcoin. If you're new to Bitcoin, that's definitely a good Telegram group amongst all of the scam Telegram groups. This is one place that you can definitely look to for like-minded people and some good quality education explained to you by people just like yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to invite you guys to Tanzania because it is so awesome. Um, so so anytime you guys are thinking about it or whatever, just happy
What
to.
I'm looking over Arusha. Hey, I'm looking
Mhm.
over the city, and I'm just doing a
Yeah,
little bit of
do research.
thumbing around, and it's beautiful. But what's
Hmm?
the good food around there? Like, what's the common, not the
Oh,
common food, but
okay.
like, what's some
All
good
right.
food around there?
Let's get down to business. So so we Tanzania has a lot of influence of Arabic. We have Eastern influence, like India as well. So we like spices as well. We like those kind of things and some sauces and some stews. And then we have the maize. I don't know. They call it different things all over Africa. I think they call it fufu in Nigeria. We call it ugali. It's like that white maize kind of cake thing dough that we kind of make. So it's our staple instead of
We
instead of
call it. We
potatoes.
even call it in
We
Ghana. We
run
call that
rice.
kenke.
You call it
We
okay.
call
Yeah,
that kenke.
yeah. Everybody knows it. It's just a really easy thing to make. You just kind of like maize and water and kind of just kind of mix it up in heat, and then that's kind of the staple thing here. Chapati. I'm not sure you guys got chapatis.
I love
To
chapati. Yeah,
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 we have
absolutely.
a lot of chapati, a lot of the stews, goat meat, beef is big, and then yeah, just other what other things. And then you have the little local stuff like with bananas are very very big as well. So we have
I would love to have
like,
you meet Shakib. He did. I'm going to
yeah,
send you a video. Dr. Orange Pill Jesse made of him,
yeah,
like last year, and he was talking about his recipes, and he had this one dish that was like a pasta with bananas
yeah.
on top, and it just looked amazing. And this
Oh man,
guy, he's a rising star chef here in New York, and he's been traveling the world. He went to India last year, learned a lot of cooking techniques from that part of the world, brought it back to kind of fuse it with his African roots, and he's building his own cuisine. And for those who don't know, so the restaurant Safari, it's a Somali restaurant. It was started about 10 years ago. Had a fire last winter in
oh,
the kitchen, and they had to shut it down. And he spent the last 6 months looking for a new space. Just signed the lease on a brand new space, like really close to we live pretty close to each other, so it's right in between where we live basically, and it's looking to become the new home of Harlem Bitcoin when it opens. Hopefully in July, we're going to have an event space there, coffee bar. We're going to work with Evan from Zeus to try to build a Lightning app in the store so he can accept Bitcoin payments and become the first official restaurant in New York to accept Bitcoin. That's the goal we have as part of the Harlem community, because we have to walk the walk here, and the food is absolutely phenomenal, and I hope you can come here and uh, experience that, and maybe bring some of your knowledge and share it with him.
yeah, most definitely. And Safari is Swahili for journey. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, Safari restaurant, that's pretty cool.
I
So
love
yeah,
that. We're all on a Bitcoin safari here.
yeah, it's something going on, and yeah. So the food is a big part of our thing. We're big on community, obviously. Just looking after each other and family and whatnot. And yeah, and then so Kilimanjaro area, obviously we got the Mount Kilimanjaro, climbed that as well, which is a journey in itself, but that's definitely a fun experience. And then because you have so many different phases as you go up the mountain. You have like this forest phase and this desert phase and then the cold phase, and so that's a pretty cool experience. And then all the safari parks are kind of it's kind of Arusha's the hub, and you kind of maybe it's like 5 hours to Serengeti, and it's a few hours to different places. But you usually start in Arusha, so that's kind of Arusha's kind of the safari side. So where I'm at right now, Dar es Salaam is like the coastal, and it's like the kind of financial capital place, and then it's like it's like a ferry ride to Zanzibar Island, obviously. And Zanzibar is what Zanzibar is, but the country's just so big. There's just so many different places and different types of climates in the country as well. So it's just a huge country. Yeah, real beautiful people, really peaceful and chill, and yeah, just a beautiful place, man. So we're happy here. Don't plan on leaving on anytime soon. So yeah, got my kids here, and yeah, we enjoy it, man.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I hope I get to visit. One of the things I wish I could have done when I was younger is travel more in the world, and I've never been to Africa myself, and I feel like I've missed out on a huge part of the travel experience. So for me, that's absolutely high on my list. That's when I heard about there being a Nostr event in Morocco, that immediately lit up my mind, and I'm excited that there's a possibility to do that. So yeah, it's just amazing to watch this community grow and build, and we're all doing it together here in real time. And absolutely, please be part of what we're doing. We'll be part of what you're doing if you start your own Telegram group or whatever you start. I'm sure all of us will be happy to join and help you grow it, because this Bitcoin community is a global community. It's not regionalized in any way. We've created something that is bigger than ourselves, and we're all just playing our little parts in it, trying to help the rest of the world understand what we've learned.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you everyone for your time. I think I'm gonna wrap up because I've got a young one over here as well. But I really appreciate you guys, just putting this together so quickly. Nostr and Derek and on the whole guys who were developing that is. My wife loves it, by the way, actually. So I appreciate really. She was really upset about that Apple email yesterday. That's how invested my wife is in this whole game. But it's been really cool and really great to just the whole experience. So we're really enjoying it, and been able to connect with worldwide. And it's just still blowing my mind that like I said, just having this conversation with you guys, the other side of the world, and just being on the same page and be like, hey, I just want to try this. Can I ask you a few questions? And you guys gave me 2 hours of your time, which is just awesome. So really appreciate it. I'll keep you guys updated. We are traveling on the 24th of June. That's when we move. We'll take a little 2-week holiday. And then pretty much like mid-July, I'm going to be trying to ramp up a bit more. And by August, I want to kind of hit the ground running and try and set some flyers and have some locations and whatnot. So kind of mid-July, I'll probably have a bit more information and stuff going on.
Well, whatever you need, think of us as family. That's how we think about you, and just be yourself and be honest with other people, and spread the love. As like Derek said, this is something that is going to make the world smaller, and it's also expanding our own personal networks and allowing us to meet amazing people like yourself on a regular basis. And I love what we're building here, and it's something that I can't imagine not being part of. So thank you for spending your time with us today.
Yep. Thank you so much. This has actually been a pleasure to meet with you guys. Speaking with everybody on stage has always been a pleasure. And I just want to keep it brief. Any resources that you need from Harlem Bitcoin, jump in the chat, DM me. Or if you can't reach anyone in the chat, just send everyone a friendly DM. Any resources you need, we'll be more than happy to send them to you. Thank you.